Dion win.
Hi everyone, welcome back. Milk for the very first time, and I'm actually going to review a French film for the first time in a couple of months, and I apologise for that, but Jumbo was a banger, and I'm going to give you an even bigger banger now because we're going to talk about Celine Sciamma's latest film, Petite Maman, and this played at Berlin Film Festival. I was very lucky enough to see this. A lot of people didn't know she was making another film, and a lot of people were surprised that it was actually only about 70 minutes in length, and the name Sciamma skyrocketed over the last couple of years. Portrait of a Lady on Fire in 2019 was probably one of the best reviewed films, one of the most successful films of that year within kind of cinema, and all other films are getting the justice they deserve. If you haven't seen Waterloo, if you haven't seen Tomboy, if you haven't seen Girlhood, please do, because they are tremendous pieces of French cinema, and honestly, I prefer them to Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Don't tell anybody. Anyway, so Petite Maman, it's been acquired by Mubi in the UK, it's been acquired by Neon in the US. It will be getting, I think, an autumn release in most territories. So yeah, that's quite exciting. And enough introducing, let's get discussing. 8-year-old Nellie has just lost her beloved grandmother and is helping her parents clean out her mother's childhood home. She explores the house and the surrounding woods where her mum Marion used to play and where she built the treehouse Nellie has heard so much about. One day her mother suddenly leaves, and this is when Nellie meets a girl of her own age in the woods building her very own treehouse, and this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Right, this film hits a bittersweet chord from the very beginning because we are very in the midst of dealing with loss, and the loss through the eyes of a child, which is something that can be quite cliche, quite pastiche at times, but what I truly love about Sciamma is that she has this raw ferocity within her kind of framing and the essence of what she is trying to portray on the screen. And there is a lot of praise that has to go to Claire Maton, who actually did the cinematography for this, because she really captures the essence of what Sciamma's going for, and you should just watch it with the cinematography alone because it's very tender, very beautiful. But as we go through her grandmother's house, we see Nellie touching the cane, touching everything, just trying to reconnect with the grandmother she's just lost. And this is where my deep connection with this film goes, because I lost my grandmother when I was about Nellie's age, and I didn't necessarily understand what was going on with my family, what people were doing, and I didn't exactly have that strong of a bond with my mother at this point, which is the polar opposite now. But once I lost my grandmother, I relied a lot on my mother to kind of help me go through this process. And this is what we see through Petite Maman. As we go through the house and as we go into the woods, Nellie is kind of more free in the woodland behind the house. These autumnal reds and greens really build this sense of freedom and liberation, and where she can be at peace with herself. This is where she can kind of grieve by herself and also enjoy the foils of being a child, because having fun in the woods is something that we've all done, and it's a very soft part that I truly have loved, because it's just that part that anyway. And as Nellie does this, she kind of connects with this friend, and her friend is the person that she needed at this point, I think. And she doesn't realize what she has until her grandmother's gone, because this kind of connection, this human bond that they have, is just really wonderful, and it's very energetic. It gives a lot of life into the film, and Sciamma just really just lets the film go a bit more loose within these kind of moments, because this is the time of being free and being happy. And once we're back in the house, there's a bit more tight framing, we're looking, we're gazing a bit more, there's a bit more silence. But the harsh truths of a child is what I truly love, because children are very honest, and the honesty of a child is really what drives me into understanding more about what childhood is about, because it's part of my work. And I really loved the things that the girls were saying to each other, or just their kind of ideas of the world. And this is the time where you see Nellie actually opening up more about her grief and missing her grandmother, because she hasn't been able to open up to anybody yet, and this is a very important step in grieving. And I really loved how Sciamma captures these moments. They're very beautiful, they're very candid, and I just love the intimacy that we see in front of us. But there's a lot to say about Josephine Sands, who plays Nellie, because without her and the girl who's played by Gabrielle Sands, they are truly helming this film so strongly, and their childlike wonder, but also being but also being able to kind of dramatize moments was just absolutely astounding. And I just loved this kind of rapport that they had. And what we see on screen is just nothing but pure poetry emotion. I was so dumbfounded about the way that Sciamma got so much from them. And this sense of being expressive and a very naturalistic approach is what makes Petite Maman a very impressive follow-up to Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Do I prefer it? I'm not necessarily sure. It's been a while since I watched Portrait now, but I feel like I need to go back and rewatch it. But trust me, keep Petite Maman on your lists. Right then, that was my review for Petite Maman. I would implore you not to kind of look into synopses or anything like that. I've been as vague as I possibly can because you kind of need to interpret what this film represents to you. I've had a few critics email me or message me and ask me what did I think. And everybody's had different opinions, so make sure that you go into this film with an open mind, and please let me know what you think of it once you've seen it. Or if you have seen it, let me know in the comment section below what you thought of it. And if not, what is your favourite Celine Sciamma film? Because I'm always intrigued to know. Next up on the channel will be my So You Want to Get Into Abel Ferreira, which will be dropping on the 1st of June. How the fuck is it June? Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Hello new subscribers, hello old subscribers. Thank you very much for joining me on this journey, and I hope you're all doing well. And as we normally say on this channel, Diolch, danke, obrigado, merci beaucoup, arigato, dankeschön, bitteschön, all the shins, and obviously never change. Bye bye.